Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss an important concept called mental hygiene and self care. This is Rima Stanley, Associate Professor, Triple M College of Nursing. Objectives of this video: what is mental hygiene, why it is important, and we'll also see the self care practices. Now, let us see what is mental hygiene. We all know how important it is to maintain physical hygiene. We bath daily, we brush our teeth, and keep our body clean. But have you ever thought about cleaning your mind? Well, our mind also gets affected by stress, negative thoughts, fear, and anxiety. So, mental hygiene means keeping our mind clean, healthy, and balanced. While self care is a daily habit of taking care of our thoughts, emotions, and well being. Therefore, mental hygiene is the practice of maintaining mental health and preventing mental illness through proper care of thoughts, emotions, and behavior. In simple words, it is taking care of your mind just like you take care of your body. Now, let us see the importance of mental hygiene. Mental hygiene is very important in our daily life. First of all, it helps in stress management. When we practice self care, we can handle stress in a better way. Example: a student who plans their study time will feel less stress before exam. It also improves emotional stability. It helps us to control emotions like anger, fear, sadness. Instead of reacting, we learn to respond calmly. Then it enhances concentration and memory. A calm mind can focus better and learn faster. Then it prevents mental disorders. A good mental hygiene reduces the risk of anxiety and depression. It also improves relationship. When we are mentally stable, we communicate better and we understand other people better. Then it improves productivity. A healthy mind usually performs better in studies and work. Signs of mental hygiene. Now, let us understand what happens when mental hygiene is poor. Here are some of the common signs such as irritability and anger, mood swings, difficulty concentrating, poor sleep such as insomnia, feeling sad or hopeless, social withdrawal such as avoiding people, physical symptoms like headache, fatigue, etc. So, example: a student who is stressed may experience like tiredness all the time, stops talking to friends, they lose interest in studies, etc. So, here is a question for you: have you ever experienced any of this during exams? Now, let us see the principles of mental hygiene. These are the basic rules to maintain a healthy mind. First of all is self-awareness, that is to understand one's own feelings and recognize stress or anger. For example, I'm feeling stressed today it's awareness. Emotional control, that is managing emotions properly, avoiding impulsive reactions. Example: taking a deep breath instead of shouting or when we feel angry and out of control. Adjustments, that is ability to adapt to situations. Example: accepting failure and trying again. Positive thinking, that is to focus on solutions rather than problems. For example, instead of I failed, think about how will I improve. I will improve is an example of positive thinking. Balance in life. Balance between work, rest, recreation is important. Too much study without rest leads to burnout. Now is the important section of this video, that is self care practices. So, self care means activities we do to maintain our mental and physical health. So, first and foremost is physical self care, which we do it every day in our life. But the question is, are we mindful of all these activities that we do? Here are some of the activities that we do in order to improve our physical health. Regular exercises such as walking, yoga, or engaging in any physical activities that motivates you and interests you. This is very important to have some kind of physical activity every day. Then, having an adequate sleep of 6 to 8 hours among adults, it is essential for immune function, mood regulation, and cognitive performance. Having a balanced diet which is healthy, and personal hygiene, which we all do it every day. So, example: a student who sleeps well usually performs better in exams. Next, we'll see emotional self care. So, this involves expression of your feelings. So, I would say it should be a healthy expression of feelings, which can be verbal, such as talking to trusted friends, or you may do it in much creative ways, such as writing, art, music, etc. Remember that suppressing emotion can lead to even more further stress. Then, talking to friends or families, practice relaxation techniques, deep breathing, meditations, etc. Positive thinking, this is to focus on productive outcomes than dwelling on negativity or potential failure. So, stop negative self talk like I can do, I cannot do, I am weak, etc. And another thing to remember is to avoid overthinking because this can cause significant mental and physical strain, leading to stress, anxiety, depression, and insomnia. So, all this can lead to mental fatigue, and you may experience physical symptoms, headaches, digestive issues, appetite changes, etc. Next, let's see social self care. This involves intentionally nurturing relationships or setting healthy boundaries and fostering connection in order to reduce stress and boost your well being. So, here are some of the activities that one should be doing, that is, to maintain good relationship with your friends and families, having a quality time with your loved ones, such as sharing meals, playing games, meaningful outings, etc., creates lasting memories. It improves mental health, especially for children, and it is also seen to improve academic performance. And the next thing is to avoid isolation. Humans are, as you know, it's a social being, so we need support and we need people around us. Next is spiritual self care. This involves nurturing your inner life, connecting with something greater than yourself, and aligning your core values to bring peace, purpose, and resilience. So, the activities that you may do includes prayer, that is having a personal time for prayer, meditation, gratitude practice, that is intentionally focusing and appreciating the positive aspect of life, and this you can do it by journal or writing thank you notes or meditating on positive aspects and verbally appreciating others. This all brings about happiness, decreases stress, and improves sleeps. Another thing that you can do is connecting with nature, such as walking in garden, woods, or stargazing, etc. All these activities helps in inner peace and meaning in life. Now let us see digital self-care. So this involves consciously managing your technology to protect mental, physical, emotional well-being. So this reduces digital fatigue. Some of the things that you need to keep in mind is to set limit on your screen time, to avoid negative social media, also take a regular mindful breaks from mobile phones, notification control, etc. Because too much of screen time increases anxiety. Now, let us see the role of a nurse in promoting hygiene. Now, as a nurse or even as an educator, you play an important role. So, some of the responsibilities that we need to keep in mind includes to educate people about mental hygiene, identify early signs of stress, and also teaching them some simple techniques to reduce stress, such as deep breathing exercises, time management, listening to music, engaging in hobbies such as reading, drawing, gardening, etc. Example like listening to music after a stressful day usually helps relaxations, right? So apart from that, as an educator or as a nurse, we need to provide emotional support, encourage self-care practices, and refer to professionals if needed. For example, if a student shows withdrawal, guide them and offer them help. So, the key message: mental health is as important as physical health. Self care is not a luxury and it is a necessity. Small daily habits can improve mental well being. So, take care of your mind because it affects every part of your life. Reference. Thank you.